very glad you also mentioned those factors because you directly led us into our objective for today. Can somebody read the I will be able to on the very top? Desira, loud and clear, please.
I would be able to analyze how women's experience in the Middle East is directly impacted by the political, economic, environmental, and social factors of the region.
Correct. And Valeria mentioned the economic factors. Albert and Eduardo mentioned the social factors, the political factors. Somebody said it doesn't have to. Desira mentioned the political factors. We're going to look at how, how the political, economic, and this is what I want you to write in your notebook. The fact that political, economic, environmental, and social factors definitely affect in building that culture in a particular area. Like have a direct impact in how the culture is developed and how these things have been normalized in these parts of the world.
Sir, do you think that in some countries around the world that religions and cultures haven't been normalized? Like a Middle Eastern country. Like what? I think it was Anna that said that we're in the year a new attitude. We're in the year 2014, and there's still, countries for child marriage, for child rape.
So I think that there's still countries that
it hasn't normalized.
That haven't normalized to are normal? Are U.S. normal?
No, because that's kind of biased. Like the world's normal. Like like a majority of the countries around the world have all this technology. And there are countries that don't have as much technology.
Yes, definitely. And yeah, we're going to look at that. Some of the examples. Unfortunately, the majority of those countries are in the developing part of Latin America, the underdeveloped and developing part of Africa, and some countries in Southeast Asia. Yes. Okay. And then another point is that again, the political and economic, environmental, social factors, they're not completely independent of each other. Just like we saw, just like Valeria said, the poverty rate, and then the Desire mentioned the political and the culture, they all are working together. They're all interwoven to lead to this type of mentality and this type of culture in a place. So as we go on to our literacy groups after we do our next activity, you're going to see in your articles that the all these factors don't work on their own. They're all interconnected and they all lead to one major effect on the culture. And our major one is that these factors will definitely affect the potential of women, the system, the structures that are in place for women to be successful or for them to not be successful in the Middle East. Now, we would just discuss this very intense and also a graphic and heavy content. So, but now, what I'm interested to hear is how some of these issues play out in our lives as well. Even though they're not as intense, it's very unlikely that some of the women in the U.S. have not faced female genital mutilation. I'm sure it happens, but it's not a very common thing. So the experience of women here in the U.S. is a complete different experience, but there's also things that happen to women here that are that are not okay, that are not correct. So I want us to reflect on a few questions, and I want us to reflect on our how our identities and reflect on our personal experiences in the U.S. So I'm going to project 5 questions on the board. Okay, in your notebook, you're going to take 5 minutes to select 3 of those 5 questions that I'll show in just a second, and pre-write your answers in your notebook for 5 minutes. 3 questions only out of the 5. Personal experiences, you're not going to be forced to share, so you can open up, but I will ask for volunteers to share after activity. Okay? So before you ask me anything, read this part, and I'll start your 5 minutes now.